they do try and target him in the champion select here. First off the bat is going to be some hard engage, taking away that Malphite.
Yep, he's gone away there, so not going to have that here as paiN do pick a ban. It's Gangplank, very common ban here in Paris. Is an almost insta-ban from CLG, going to take out the Darius.
Yep, Juggernaut's falling left and right. Lulu maybe left open, actually has a lot lower win rate than we expected here, that Lulu pick overall. Let's see if they actually bait CLG into picking it. Also, to keep your eye on junglers, because Elise seen a lot of favor here. Early drops, early picks for that champion very, very often.
Yeah, Smithy is so good with a lot of the Cinderhulk junglers, though. I don't think that CLG would be too sad about giving it up. That being said, yes, Elise is on the board, so they won't give away the first pick to CLG.
Not anymore. They just banned it out here. Elise off the table, so paiN Gaming, even though Smithy, yeah, as you said, you know, very, very big on the Cinderhulk junglers, just don't want to deal with that cocoon throwing menace.
Yeah, there is something, it's so interesting about Smithy because he spends so much money on just individual wards in the early stages of the game, and then that delays his sight zone, but it sets up the first stages of the vision to set up for the rest of the team, and he has to be on something safe to get that first line down.
Well, unfortunately, Crepo is not going to get his wish, at least for this game. Kami's Twisted Fate was the final ban there for CLG as paiN, with 15 seconds left, to decide what they want to take away. We've talked a lot about priority picks. We've seen Mordekaiser banned 100% of the time.
This may be the first Mordekaiser, but nope.
Not yet.
paiN Gaming even must hurt.
It must
the
hurt.
Brazilians. They got their one, but you have to ban it out. Lulu's open right now, and I'm looking at Braum. Even though the champion has a surprisingly low win rate, I think it might even be as low as 0 so far in the tournament. Somebody tweeted that at me, so I have to double check. But Braum, the tier 1 pick, 0 and 8. Our stats guy Sultry whispers in my ear just now. So 0 and 8 so far for Braum. So coming into the tournament, it was top pick, top ban. Suddenly, just doesn't work anymore for these teams.
Yeah, I mean, still a strong champion. The record here also could be just because everyone prioritizes him, both the teams that are strong and the teams that are not. Anyways, though, he's not going to be first round priority here. CLG did get their hands on that Lulu, so that does signify a place out here for CLG. It did work out for them before, you know, double lift on some sort of end game carry there. Last time using Jinx, this time we'll see what they go for. And it does play into probably that Pobelter Lulu mid, so he can run that low econ mid laner.
So Kami not an assassin this time, but picks the Orianna, and we've seen that matchup play out. It just, what Lulu does decently well in lane, Orianna just does better, and that's why this matchup actually propels forward for the Orianna. We saw Expected do it too, stayed even, managed to build very offensively, didn't have to get any defensive items, and then landed that 4-man shockwave, but obviously some setup is required. Still possible here to do the same thing for paiN Gaming. Kallista's open, Annie's open.
Yeah, plus, you know, this is a signature champion for Kami. The Orianna has been playing it for so long. Surti also very happy. So comfort picks here for Brazil right off the bat.
Well, big players going to need to make some big plays on the champion as CLG consider their next few picks here, looking for second and third in this draft. 10 seconds now. And CLG, after the insta-lock, Lulu have really slowed things down. There's the Lee Sin there for Smithy. And we may see Braum could get his first win here in the World Championships.
Again, though, no Hearts TC, and a lot of these lineups in these games here at the World Finals have been looking great on paper, but then you realize if there's no targeted Hearts TC, these teams are so good that they can play around that. That may be the start of your demise. So I need to see if either of these teams actually pick some target TC. Think of an Annie, think of any lockdown immediately can help you facilitate these fights.
And we have seen, you know, with Origin earlier today, the combos, the AoE combos, the massive impact they can have with just a single team fight. If you win a giant shockwave or something like that, you know, you set up with Annie. Speaking of Origin, this was the exact combo that they ran as well. They could be looking to pull the same thing off on CLG.
Look at Crepo, the prophet there, predicting the Annie Kalista.
I mean, I'm not a prophet. I'm just looking at Origin's game overall here.
Yeah.
paiN Gaming, they were in the studios, they were getting ready for the game. Twitter's like, that looks like a good composition, let's run it.
We'll see how it works out here for paiN as they've got one pick left in this draft. We pop back over to Counterlogic Gaming. Really picked a lot of strong utility, can flex the Lulu if they want to, so they need to complete the draft with these picks, and it's Tristana Olaf that they settle on.
Yeah, speaking of the Juggernauts, you know, Lulu, you need not only the AD carry for the late game, but also some sort of other threat in that top lane to speed up. Olaf is perfect. This was the original combo used in North America quite a lot.
And this hover, we don't, sorry to interrupt you there, but this is actually a throwback to All-Stars where the French casters in-house would always ask the crowd, Spartans, what is your profession? And they would go nuts.
They're doing it right now.
They're doing it right now.
Shut your mouth. Yeah.
Let him hit it. Ships Hanoi are going crazy already, so it's a good throwback here from the youth French player here in Paris. But to touch back on the actual things at hand, I think OF here is a fantastic pick. I love it with Lulu. I love it against these hard engage, these hard stunts. He can just run down Kalista.
Yeah, also, I mean, this CLG comp is really, really high intensity mid game here. Tristana can get them to that point where they have enough money to start grouping and roaming around, knock down turrets very, very quickly, because you put up the Braum wall, and then Tristana, just one explosive charge is going to take out at least half a turret there. So they're going to look to try and chain that early gold, and then get Zion. Once you get one item on Olaf, he's backed up by a Lulu. He can just try and run train.
Yeah, no, does complete the draft there for paiN. Surprisingly popular pick here in the first 2 days of the World Championships. Remember, this is our final game of the evening as we get a little further through these groups as the teams play more games. But, gentlemen, the draft has completed.
Yeah, really looking forward to see what CLG does with this game. paiN Gaming do have a tendency to go incredibly long in their games, and then facing off against a sped up Olaf late game, a Tristana hyper carry, potential Zeke's on the Braum. That's going to be hard to deal with for paiN Gaming.
I've learned something in the last 2 games, though, Crepo. Let's not start talking about the team fights. Let's talk about that level 1.
Yeah, let's go back. Late game doesn't matter. Who's going to face check whom?
It's not if they face check 5
It's
on 5
where.
level 1. Exactly. It's going to be where do they go and who's going to have the advantage. Because once again, they do have the same bottom lane.
into Annie.
And exactly. The Annie can charge up her W, also obviously the Incinerate in the fountain on the way there to get the AoE stun. But Braum, no slouch. If they see one person out, they also have the Olaf. So a lot of ability to chase down if CLG do sort of get the momentum. Did they get the first jump in that level 1? Definitely something to watch out for. But again, we've seen the effect of the AoE from Annie if they face check a brush.
And more importantly, double teleport on both these sides here. So we can see explosive bot lanes. We could also see a complete snooze farm fest if they respect the teleports. Depends what these teams bring to the table.
Well, we'd like to know what you guys are at least thinking. Who are you calling this one for? Tweet at LOL Esports with the hashtag CLG win to cheer for the North Americans, or for PNG win to cheer for the Brazilians, and we'll see who you guys are backing in our final game of the evening. The French cast are doing an excellent job of hyping up the crowd. They're going insane right now, if you can hear them. And again, a tight game here for both teams. We would have thought maybe, you know, just a standard CLG game, but after seeing the last few games of the first 2 days, a very tight final game of day 2.
Yeah, we had a tiny problem with BRTT's mouse, but it should be resolved, so we should be able to get into games soon enough here. So yeah, I'm excited. This could mean just so much for this group, for these teams. paiN Gaming could cause the upset here, because after all, they're the dwarf in this group. Nobody expects them to almost take any games, but they have proven that they can get relatively close.
And you talked about that bottom lane. I'm still very excited to see it. It's only added to that there's every single person in this map can join the bottom lane.
I wish these teleports could be disabled for like 10 minutes, because just in a 2v2 isolated spectrum, Tristana Braum into Annie Kalista is such a fascinating matchup, mostly because you can flash Q aggressively as Braum, but it never happens.
Do you even play bottom lane? You know it's not 2v2. It's always at least 4v2, 5v3.
Well,
it's always 2v4, 2v5. I never get any TPs.
And now 5v5, as we do have an invade from CLG. Welcome onto the Rift for our final game of day 2 here in Paris.
What's their T? A lot of teams have been doing this. They double ward, send their jungle out to bait, illusion that there's just scouting, and then they run into...
Oh, it's happening again! Level 1 denied! They're going in! Huge double stun! Files But's already dead! First blood goes to Nasserti, though! Gonna pay the price, Kami! Trying to kite around, Mylon in trouble! Double Lift going nuts with the jumps! Mylon, no! Does go down! Afro gets the next kill! Kami almost dead! Another 3 kills in a level 1 invade!
paiN Gaming!
Fool me once, start talking about team fights too early, Crepo. You gotta touch on those level 1s, baby. We're almost back to the preseason dragon spawning. Everybody rushed down there.
Get to that bush.
It's exactly what we prepped here. The Annie in the brush. Zion throws his axe at Sir T because they saw him. They thought Belter was the one pulling off the bait. They thought Belter was distracting him, and they were going to get the jump on him. But defensive wards from paiN. Annie in the brush. They didn't throw the axe at the brush because he thought they had the target in sight, and Zion paid the price.
But paiN Gaming were so happy that they got 1 kill that they forgot. They didn't realize, guys, we just used all our damage. And then CLG, they pull the trigger. It's actually very, very audacious of them to do that, being one man down and still getting 2 kills with them. So good game read here overall. But I love that play, and I think we'll see less of that later as the tournament goes on, because that Surti was given the illusion that they were spread out, scouting, because he was just hovering around acting, you know, Oscar to him for that first spot. But paiN Gaming, they were lurking in that brush. But enough about level 1. Let's get to the game.
One more thing though, the follow that the Braum pass is doing so much work there with the Q. He's so strong in the level 1s. Now they meet up in the 2 vs 2 up top, and paiN do have the advantage with the minion wave shoving already. paiBelter though getting the early zone onto Kami. He's got the early level 2.
Look at his wards though. He bought 2 wards immediately.
Okay, yeah, wards very important because so many flashes were blown. You mentioned that, you know, it was very risky for paiN, you know, stick around after, you know, getting that first blood. They had to burn a lot of exit flashes. Kami in the mid lane, Mylon up top. It's the 2 solo lanes that Lee Sin is going to be looking for. Smithy, not only is he on one of the best early game ganking junglers, one of the most mobile, as soon as he hits level 3, he's got everything he needs in his kit, but he also still has his flash as well.
And he's now going to take a blue buff here. Ooh, Sentinel just missing that there.
I think you may as well not cast Sentinels, because they're so deceptive, because you constantly think, oh, we didn't see the jungle, but you know, what jungler at this level is going to get walk in and get combo hit? Unless it randomly turns around right here.
It's going to kill it now.
No.
He's getting his attack speed. Yeah, he could have gone up there.
Why would you kill it?
Well, you
End
get
gold,
10
man.
gold. Come on.
But now they know where you are.
Didn't want to go for the gank up top.
Well, we do see standard lanes in effect here.
Because you never know if Rek'Sai's waiting there as well, because they have Tremor Sense. They could be, you know, prepping a counter gank for you. If any gets an AoE stun off on level 2, level 3 champions.
You're right. I yield.
By the way,
I had just begun.
they've been going absolutely bonkers here in the mid lane. paiBelter and Kami, we heard Kami talk about the matchup. They are really fighting each other in these early levels.
Just on the bottom lane too, that Gnar Olaf matchup, traditionally Gnar propels ahead of these Juggernauts because he can keep the distance the same way and he can just keep hitting you repetitively. However, Olaf landing an axe can change that entirely and swing that around. So very interesting matchup overall.
Yeah, in this matchup, I actually really like Olaf, as long as the Olaf has some support. Because he can all in on a mini Gnar pretty easily. Just continue to pick up axes. Since the long lane, there's so much distance for him to work with. If you're good at throwing the axes, you just throw it to land on the model of your enemy. Then you can immediately pick it up and you can chain those. If there's some support from the jungler, from the mid lane, you know, all these teleports that we're talking about, then Olaf, he can pick and choose when to have the engage.
Well, top lane not going too badly now, pretty even, but Kami struggling, 10 CS done already and used his teleport.
Yeah, paiBelter in that mid lane, making a name for himself.
Good Surti, pings the brush here, no wards there for CLG. paiBelter just used 1 teleport, so if Surti can get behind, he actually pink warded too, so very invested in the top lane gank here for paiN Gaming.
I do definitely agree with you, by the way, on your earlier point about the Sentinels. I think people overhype the, oh, we're moving around the Sentinel. It's pretty slow, easy to maneuver around.
This gives you so much deceptive vision, because what does it grant you? You walk into the jungle, oh, we didn't see the jungle. Yeah, well, he's going to walk around that.
Yeah, it's
Smithy now gets spotted on the jungle ward there.
Oh, Braum passive on her as well.
BRTT could be in trouble, but Doublelift actually gets out of the way. So he's actually not here anymore. We've seen junglers on opposite sides of the map, but the 2v2, what Kami wanted or what his team wanted, they are getting it.
Zion goes in aggressive. He actually gets the worst of that trade here. Mylon. Oh, he ran into the backswing on the boomerang.
It's not getting
He's
a lot of
baiting
mileage.
with it. That's
not getting a lot of mileage out of those axes here.
He's
Smithy
walking.
revealed again on the ward. This is the second time that same ward has spotted him. So fool me once, and I'll not gonna do that saying on air. I always screw it up.
We've certainly seen it.
Shame on Smithy, TLDR.
We've certainly seen Smithy be fairly committed to the Zion ganks early on, so paying a lot of attention there.
Oh, the Ute face checking!
Oh, not good news. Braum passive, not quite there. And this top lane, in so many ways, is very volatile.
Yep, again, love this defensive ward in their tri-bush. They do see it coming, but 13 immediately goes in.
Yeah, kind of hard with that. Good warding, actually, from CLG to spot that one out.
So many interesting dynamics in this lane. Obviously, you have the double range Duas from BRTT and the Utes Annie, but at the same time, they have to posture consistently. They have to stand behind creeps, because if they get connected, Mylon really doesn't like those creeps, it seems. So he actually just wants to push in them base. That's why he uses his ulti.
Yeah.
But Smithy,
round 3.
third time's a charm.
Ding ding.
No, well,
Same
still
ward,
there.
Same ward.
but he's so far deep. Can Zion land an axe? Did he hit it? I don't think he did.
paiN
Nah.
needs to line this up well. Can he get the hop? He gets the boomerang. He's going to get aggressed. Oh, great cue from xMithy, but there's the hop to get him to safety.
Yeah.
As a jungler, efficiency, go away.
No comment. You can walking over the same ward 3 times, Crep. I think you can do the math on that one.
Well, let's check in with the rest of the lanes now then. As we've seen top xMithy can't quite get the ganks down.
I think this is being stuck in play patterns outside of, like, with normal level 1s in mind. Obviously, that ward, that lasted 3 minutes. There's no way that was a trinket ward, but xMithy in his mind is like, okay, he spotted me, trinket ward. Minute later, it'll be gone. Ah, unlucky, it was still up. Minute later, it has to be gone by now, but it was actually a green ward due to the explosive level 1, so it changes a lot of these early game dynamics.
And the thing is, you can go for those ganks where you just run over the ward, even if you know it's there, but you just want to run over it. But for that to work, you have to have very good setup
mitigation.
with your top laner, because Zion was so low, it was so dangerous for him to start that up with the axe and try and get close to Gnar, because Gnar could easily do enough damage to turn it around on them.
After
And
going double lift here, no ward anymore.
Yeah, well, Mylon almost gets knocked out of it. The stun's going to go down, though. Afro does land it up, but he doesn't have an ulti. Damage is good. They get a flash forward.
Nice
Ignite should do it. Mylon will go down.
Mylon, why didn't you flash any earlier? Really good delayed ignite there from Aframu.
Yeah, Zion Smithy can't get it done. Double lift and Aframu will take over. Same path taken down the river. Ward finally has expired, and they're able to get the turret. The turrets will trade, but CLG got the extra kill out of it, and this leaves Pobelter all alone in the mid lane. We're so focused on the sideline and the ganks that both junglers have concentrated on the opposite sides of the map, but all the time the junglers are showing gives more time for Pobelter to isolate this matchup with Kami, where he's increasing his minion lead and taking so much health off of the turret.
And we're swapping things around here. You can see towers getting low, both in the other side. CLG already took one in the bottom side. xMithy trying to defend here in the top, but BATT and Dude, the French player on the Brazilian side, trying to make it happen, as Pobelter's also been applying quite a bit of pressure.
Yeah, here's the roam from Aframu. Hex into
Great
the...
up there. Molly is good as well. Double lift is there. Shockwave does not connect.
That was some really well executed play there. Kami had his flash, but he couldn't do it because he was polymorphed. Then he got knocked up by the Braum, and even if he flashed later on, double lift comes in. That tower going down, that is a big, big swing here for Counterlogic Gaming.
What time is it, Crepo? It's rush hour, baby! He actually looked at his watch, by the way. They just
I don't see how this information is relevant to you, Kobe. But
they just made a play, bottom side, grab the kill for their team, swing mid, not only get the kill, but also, since Pobelter had done so much work on that mid turret, they open up the map. The all-important mid turret down. They're able to get the deep vision. Rush Hour doing so much for CLG this game.
CLG at 10 past 10 in the evening right now. 16,000 gold against 13k of paiN Gaming. Let's see that again. Just watch
technically.
What's the volume more from Pobelter here. Into that knockup, that is some CC chain. I love it. As a support main, this makes me very, very happy.
And the Shockwave, of course, fizzling there towards the end. Really tight play there from CLG. And they're up 3,000 gold already at 10 minutes in. We talked about CLG can have strong early games despite good late game. And they've had a really good start to this one.
Yeah, and if this tower, I don't think paiN Gaming really... They over-respected CLG. That tower should have dropped a lot earlier. Now, good zoning here from Smithy and Zion Spartan. They really want to deny that gold, even if it's just a local gold. I guess the paiN Gaming, especially when his matchup switches back. Doublelift right now has the breaking point in this Kalista matchup. She's not yet finished Bork, but she's going up against the BF and a pickaxe. That's where Doublelift can just get so much instant damage done. And yeah, start 1v1ing the enemy carry. 2v2 they win too, so really, really big breaking point here for CLG.
You can see how active Aframu and Smithy are being now as well. Trying to add to that all here. There's mobility boots very early on, but Afro getting him around the map.
And even home guard upgrade on him. He's getting out there to make plays.
Certainly is there, as paiN do pick up the tower in top lane there. Going to move that gold a little back, a little closer back to even. But Pobelter has been such a bully here in this lane as well. He is very far ahead of Kami, almost 20 CS clear right now.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Level 1, all flashes blown, 2 wards purchased, constant shove from Pobelter, the easiest way to last it, forcing Kami to make mistakes under that turret, dropping CS.
Yeah.
Again, it's not much, it's 10 CS, but it means a lot in terms of pressure too. Pobelter is always ready to move first.
So here's the line that you now take as paiN Gaming. We want to look at this match from their point of view. They need to clear out this CLG deep vision. You know that CLG were just in your jungle. You know that they left wards down here, and CLG are a team that in the past have gotten overconfident when they get this far ahead. They've gotten early leads so often that sometimes they get a little overconfident with trying to take multiple objectives at once, because CLG are a team that strive to be really efficient with the amount of objectives they're taking at the same time. If paiN can actually defensively ward, then maybe they can use this anti-Kalista to try and pick somebody off and try and get a comeback rolling.
Well, you can see CLG, a very quick dragon here in this game as they do take the first one. Yep, do take their first one. They're 2-1 in turrets as well, sort of padding that lead out here as paiN will move themselves down to this bottom side.
Yeah, Surti found a pink ward in his own jungle, replaced it with a pink ward of his own. He received Dude and Surti moving in. Gets warded out though by Spartan, but they want to get that tower down. Gonna see a likely tower trade. This is where maiON has to be careful. If you see the enemy top laner in his zone of his tower, likely that the same thing will happen to you. So get the hell out of dodge, try and farm some jungle at best, but get away from that turret.
Well, Zion might have to pop his ultimate here. Let's see if they force it out of him. Just going to take the hits.
Yep, BRTT kind of knew that he couldn't continue there, so they'll try and take the tower instead. Double lift though, we've seen this a lot from Tristana, mows down turrets with the spells in the early game. paiN will get one in the bottom side, but CLG are about to take another.
Yeah, early tier 2 boots here on BRTT too, so he'll delay his Blade of the Ruined King even more. Struggling to stay even here. paiN Gaming, they do have some elements of hard crowd control effects, like the anti-tibbers, like the knockup provided from Fate's Call. So teams that fall behind without any of this hard to see have an incredibly hard time coming back, but paiN Gaming still have the tools to close this gap, just like Kobe mentioned, if CLG follow up on that tendency to get slightly overconfident in the mid game.
Well, really splitting the map at this point. CLG are finally going to chase paiN out of their red side jungle.
Look at that from Mudo.
Good flank here. Oh, the ball's actually caught him. Now they're going to keep moving through. Great ultimate. It pulls out with the Fate's Call. Shockwave does land on a few, but Double Lift's already gotten a kill. They'll trade back and forth. Surti will die. Now the reset here for Double Lift. He's going to keep jumping. 2 for 1 there. CLG win that fight. 3 for 1, sorry.
Yeah, 3 for 1 exchange here. CLG flanking paiN Gaming. The Fate's Call wasn't enough. Immediate ultimate there from Afro2, and yeah, they just got caught. There was no way they were gonna win that fight. So cut your losses.
Huge flash kick. Kami in trouble. Does die to Zion Spartan. His ex-Smithy goes full NA on the Lee Sin plays.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to be able to finish off this turret.
Yeah, it doesn't even leave me time to finish my point. Damn you, ex-Smithy!
Still got the Lee Sin mechanics. Certainly on lockdown of CLG, only getting further ahead in this game, almost 5,000 gold now. CLG, going to see if they can continue momentum. Smithy on the aggressive Lee Sin, the Warrior done. Infinity Edge must be here as we do have a replay.
Yeah, so let's look at this chase, because Afromu, yeah, he's going to sacrifice his life because he goes right in the middle of the team, but he lays out the carpet here, and even through Kami's ultimate, the shockwave hitting, CLG just power through. Zansarn on the front lines. Double Lift doesn't hesitate to jump in over the shockwave.
Yeah, that ultimate there from Afro was certainly even flashed into it. He tried to escape and then he found a Braum at the other side. Dude should have probably just ulted himself over the wall, making it a 1 for 2, because that was an unwinnable fight. Even in a 5-man shockwave.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure that that was before the shopping from Kami, and he hadn't completed his Athenes. He was sitting on just the rings and the chalice there, so not a lot of AP to back it up yet.
And speaking of items, as we do see blue buff over for Pobelter, Infinity Edge is done for Jinx. We've got the Needlessly Large Rod now for Lulu, and the Black Cleaver for Zion Spartan, so CLG is starting to power up in this mid game.
And if you're a starting NAR player, you can also see why maiON here goes for the Black Cleaver instead of throws him out. Eventually throws him out, won't be useful against an Olaf at all, so you just want to shred that armor, try and kill him before he runs you down. But at this point, Zion Spartan is just in a good spot. He's still behind in CS, but the kills and assists make it so that he's relatively even, and CLG will always have a member defending him, assisting him. They're playing way better as a team right now compared to paiN Gaming.
And the Tristana Siege, what we've seen from CLG, quite a lot in their ascendance to #1 in North America in summer. They're going to keep trying to siege down. They've got 4 turrets already. Going to be working on this bottom one. It's down to about 30% health already.
I would say just very impressed with the way Pobelter has been playing here so far. Yeah, he got Lulu twice, which is relatively straightforward champion to play, but he has done incredibly high kill participation in a lot of these games. I think yesterday he was involved in literally every kill. So far, 7 out of 8.
Not only that, he's also won his lane both times on Lulu.
Certainly impressive there. Kami said he wanted to play him. Maybe regrets that statement now, but paiN still putting up a fight here, defending this bottom side turret. maiON sticking in the top side, does not have his teleport though. But CLG look to be prepping just for the next dragon. CLG will clean out this wolf camp, actually getting a bit more active around the map, trying to keep these waves up. The Dragon is back up in 40 seconds. paiN needs to make a decision. When that comes up, are they going to fight for it?
I think not, because honestly, we talk about, trying to set up defensive vision all the time, and we talk about clearing out CLG's vision. Even that is such a dangerous prospect for them. Really what they're hoping for at this point is a counter engage where CLG try and push into a turret, something along those lines where they're walking in and it makes it easy for Kami to land a very big shockwave.
And ever since Baron has been placed on a 20-minute start time, except the 15 minutes, some teams have actually found issues closing out games or knowing what to do when they get this far ahead and towers fall this early in the game. So CLG's approach right now is just to deny as many mini objectives.
Yep.
Small jungle camps, vision trades, dragons to boot, and then just keep the pressure up. And then eventually, around 20-25 minutes, then you can start looking for that Baron. But there is no rush at all here on CLG, and that's what makes it so hard for paiN Gaming to find an opening. Unless they push and overextend mid, it's so hard to catch him.
At the beginning of the season, it took a long time for teams to realize that you can't just continually throw your bodies at this inner line of turrets, because that's how you give up your early leads, overextending in that mid game.
Deny resources. Raptors to prevent the Oracle buff right there, the Wolves so that little Spirit doesn't spawn, and then you go back to your jungle, get some more gold, and then you continuously keep growing that gold advantage, and then you can start throwing your bodies at those tier 2 towers.
CLG are certainly starting to pack that snowball. I think they've got it to the top of the hill. They're going to push it down now and see how big it can get. 5,000 gold up still, but they did take another dragon, so on the clock now for a pretty good 5th dragon timer. Now sitting 2-0 up in dragons and 4-2 up in turrets. The items do keep coming. paiNBelter and Mylon gonna just sort of brush past each other. Mylon will complete the back, but paiNBelter even just clearing waves bottom side now on Lulu.
The advantage of double teleport, you can just put your mid laner bot 80 carry mid. That's a lot of teams used to be able to do in the assassin meta. Even if you don't have an assassin, you just split push 1-3-1, keep that pressure up, and eventually paiN Gaming, because they're losing all these individual matchups right now, 1v1, 2v2, they have to send more people to deal with one side. That's when teleport transfers over to the other side of the map, and you get another advantage. It's an objective, vision, whatever you want. CLG seem to be more in control in this mid game than they were yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. It's up to paiN right now to try and find some fight with a numbers advantage, because while we keep mentioning the double teleports for both teams, and yeah, people can join from across the map, the channel time for teleport is extremely long, and you can burst someone out before they arrive. So trying to even it up that way is what they're looking for. They've got the Annie to start it all off. That would be their number one hope.
And that's something, hang on here.
That's
target,
a
little
quite
deep
there. Xmethy gets low, but he flashes out to safety.
And that's something we've seen on Western teams as well. That teleport, very often a little late. Very often when we watch the Eastern teams, both LPL and LCK, those teleports coming really early, very often cancelled when not necessary, but I feel that's something where Western teams need to improve a lot more. Just trigger happy on teleports.
Or not cancelled like we saw last game with Smeb.
Let's see, paiNBelter working on Mylon. So much damage already, and the Lulu hasn't even gotten that second big item. He's actually going to take this maybe by himself. Yeah, no pressure there coming out from Annie. CLG, again, very methodically, just getting themselves a bigger and bigger lead. This, like we've mentioned already, much more control from CLG, even stealing the blue now as well. This, 20 minutes in, it's been a great early game, but a very clean mid-game now as well.
Oh, interesting teleport here from Zion Spartan, looking to cut him off. He pops the ultimate.
Find someone, it's actually Kami and Surti. The knock up there from Lulu. Huge damage out there from Zion. Smithy rides in to get the kill and does secure it.
That teleport only went, halfway across the jungle, but he was just able to cut off Kami there, and not even the flash is going to save him. CLG jump on the opportunity, finally catch paiN Gaming outside of their base, and now they're going to Baron bait.
Yep, CLG copying TSM with their Juggerlock composition here. We see Zion Spartan again, no ultimate this time though.
And Aframu does not have his. They're going to need to find someone. Mylon splashed out. Xmethy looking for the flank, but he gets knocked up. That's not enough. BRTT now as a 4v4 will ensue. Mylon, good scoop back to keep himself safe, but Afro will get the kill and double. Smells blood there as he rocket jumps straight forward.
Good move by paiN. If you're getting flanked, always engage on the weak side of the flank. They take out Xmethy, but they're just forced to end up training 1-for-1. So CLG is making moves that at worst go even. So very, very controlled aggression here from CLG.
Yeah, it could have been better from Smithy there. You do have to constantly keep track of the rest of your squad when you're going for a flank, so it doesn't get turned around on you like that. Here comes the stun out of your...
Quite.
If only Pixie passive procs 2 autos.
That would be ridiculous. As CLG will back away from their seat in the mid lane. Mylon is back. So gonna have to be a bit more careful as everyone can be around here, but the control out of CLG for Vision, you can see them just massacring wards in paiN's red side jungle.
Yeah, plus they've got the trifecta of pink wards around Baron already set up to clear out so much of this true sight inside the red.
And look at just how dark
paiN.
that vision is. paiN Gaming now have to face like all those brushes that are being shown by the observers here. For all they know, CLG is right now on Baron with a 2,000 health Baron buff. They find him in the brush though. 30, good scouting, that's really good job, but you gotta go with patience. And CLG know that now paiN Gaming, they took their time scouting those rushes. Next time, they'll just insta-rush Baron.
But, you know, they've given up the positioning here on the mid lane, and paiN trying to get towards the turret. They are half-heartedly coming over. It looks like CLG have just forfeited this mid lane turret. So paiN Gaming gonna take the last outer now.
Yeah, might pay for that Baron bait with a turret. They certainly will, as paiN Gaming have done a great job playing reactively, but sort of keeping up with CLG. This lead has not shifted for so long.
Well, they have to be careful. CLG will cede one turret, but they're not going to let two go, so paiN have to be careful not to overextend.
Yeah, but look at the wave in bottom lane though. Just done a dodge the courier from Xmithy. He has to go in. Good zoning by Surteed. Good cancel.
Knock up. Xmithy kicks it, but it's not nearly enough. Solo here as they do tag Kami. They're going. Shockwave lands on the 3. Doubles caught up. Facecore's going to move in. Annie down there as well. Zion those got Orianna into the back lines, and Zion is going absolutely nuts. They're trying to kill PRTT. He will die, but Mylon will fall as well.
Mylon was way too late. paiN Gaming need to communicate better as a team what they want to do. They could have turned that around if Mylon TP'd instantly. But right now, Double Lift looking to clean up PRTT.
Does fall to Double Lift. And CLG find themselves a 3-for-2 team fight win.
Again, that 3.5 seconds of channel time for a teleport is enough to turn the tide.
I mean, the 3.5 hesitation before the channel is...
That's not... the lag?
Lag. Playing at lag. It's the only lag you have left is teleport lag. But yeah, really good turnaround there from paiN Gaming, but they were in a good position to also keep split pushing. So Mylon told his team, guys, I got a free tower here, just back off. They could have backed off. Good cancel from Surteed, but hesitation. Obviously really easy to spot from us here, but it's all happening in real time for those guys on the stage, so gotta keep in control. That's why shot calling is so important for these teams.
Yeah, and sometimes you want to put faith in your team that they'll be able to disengage so you can try and get an advantage and you continue split pushing bottom. If they're able to pull off that disengage and deny CLG the combo there, then by taking that risk, they gain something on the other side of the map.
Well, paiN actually going to start this Dragon. CLG a little late on the recalls. They might not get this next Dragon. PRTT though caught. Kami will protect him there with his ball.
Flying from Zion Spartan.
Oh, Zion runs in. Rek'Sai does get it. paiN will get the Dragon, but at what cost there is Kalista already down. Kami getting fired upon by Double Lift, who's going nuts. As now Mylon going to get aggressed on. The stun is there from Annie.
That should be Baron. The two main carries here for paiN Gaming down, so CLG should probably make a beeline up there. As we said, they have plenty of pink wards already down.
Yeah, I really like that vision.
They're just setting between Explosive Inhibitor and Baron right now.
Yeah, they're just pick what you want. Only good choices left for CLG right now. Poblater wasn't even in that fight, and you really see just a little bit of aggression from the Kalista forcing her down, and then Zion Spartan can just move in, flank. And it's so hard for paiN Gaming to move in, because even though CLG stopped baiting, those pink wards, they stayed there. They don't go down anymore. Unlimited duration on those wards. You just see a steal here from Surteed, but so hard.
Caught Afro. In fact, Zion's going to try and zone them away. Does not have his ultimate just yet, so this could be a bit dangerous. Baron getting low, but it feels like CLG want to commit on this one. Double. Actually, no, they'll back away.
That hesitation from CLG not immediately moving up there can be the difference here. A couple of seconds of DPS time on Baron. Double teleports for paiN Gaming, and Kami's able to come in. Threat of a shockwave Rek'Sai is definitely threatening enough. They can burst it down, so CLG don't want to take that chance of throwing away such a huge lead and allowing the Baron to be stolen. So they call off their attempt.
They play with the necessary respect, but even though we're now 15-5 ahead for CLG, paiN Gaming still have the combo. We saw Origin do it, they were behind too. We saw an earlier fight here, Surteed now on the front line, some Orianna shield here, but look for Annie, look for Dude. Tibbers with Fate's Call, or Flash Tibbers with the Orianna ball combined. That's what paiN Gaming are looking for. Zion Spartan is looking for Inhibitor.
Yeah, it does get the ulti out of Rek'Sai, but isn't going to go all the way in. CLG have done some recent shopping. No, Double Lift actually sitting on a big stack of gold, I think. But they are going to start Baron once again.
In vision. What's changed now that CLG is willing to take the 50-50 compared to before?
Maybe they just have to think they have to take it here. They're going to move in. Are they going to get the
Smite
steal?
was ball.
They're going to keep moving in. Timmons going to get 100. Timmons is good, but Timmons getting very low. Double moving up. Pobelter gets the kill. CLG was a ruse all along. Mylon's going to get stunned up out of his crunch. Now Megano has to move up, but Smithy is low. Kicks on Nakami. They'll take him out. And CLG get what they want.
And BRTT chase Zion that whole way down the river. Double F still chasing though.
Certainly still going. Smithy runs in. Huge roll out from Mylon. Might be enough. BRTT trying to turn it around, but Zion and Double F far too far forward. Get a crunch all the way through. paiN as BRTT will die for the ace.
And poor shot calling again. Kobe, you shouted it was under 1.5k health, that Baron. Surti could have easily channeled over and stolen it with a shockwave, and then paiN Gaming could have disengaged, cleared waves, maybe drop an inhibitor, but they took a very bad fight because Surti and Kami were in position to steal Baron. They were over the wall when Dude flashed Tibbert, so just poor communication.
And Zion Spartan, so intelligent there. He's able to gain BRTT's attention. He chases him halfway down the river. There's no Kalista there. Soaks up a lot of damage only because he knows he can teleport right back in with home guards. Cuts off the rest of paiN Gaming, and they're able to take down 2 inhibitors with that Baron bait.
Yeah, CLG get a massive boost there in this game because they're practically 10,000 gold ahead. They'll steal the blue, they'll go back and recall. Double from Vampirix after the Bloodthirster very quickly.
I mean, look right now, the ball's in position. If Surti goes over, Kami and Surti have to go all the way around the wall. Dude's doing his job. You can expend your support for a Baron. As a support main, I will agree with that. Just sacrifice your life, but get something out of it. Good ulti from Pobelter, by the way, too, because it keeps Smithy alive for the kick on Kami.
Is that not the worst feeling? You go flash Tibbers as Annie,
Yes, it got him.
and nobody, no damage there, no follow-up of any sort. After move, towing the line there. Mylon does get a great ultimate, and Surti actually channeled with the knockup there, but it just was too little too late. With Zion coming in with the teleport, full bar of health.
Yes. BRTT was really happy getting 3 members pinned into the wall. Brunon's proccing on all of them, but too little too late, as we said, because they're just doing different things. If you want a team fight, sure, they could have won that if Kami and Surti went around, but they weren't looking to team fight. They were looking to steal, so paiN Gaming need to get on the same page with each other.
Yeah, Afro also had the unbreakable wall up for the first half of that while they were stunned, so blocked a decent amount of it.
And CLG, as a result, getting very close to closing this game out, have 1 inhibitor left if they want it in the top lane. Dragon number 3 only, or 4, sorry, total, but 3 for CLG will be up. That's unlikely to be a win condition in this game. CLG can do Baron, but right now, they're going to take this tower and get themselves truly 10,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, they can just push him in top lane, then disengage back to the Baron again, forcing a very, very long distance face check. Look at all those rushes that have been cleared or dewarded by CLG.
Double F so unbelievably threatening right now. 909 on Tristana. Has the Quicksilver completed on top of it. Base of the mountain and Braum to protect him.
For Sentinel gets killed there by Double F. They know what brush they're in right now, but
There's a lone ward outside the Baron that can maybe spot CLG moving in and out of that. So paiN Gaming are just going to rely on the fact that they haven't seen anybody pass there.
CLG cutting him off though.
Yep, now going to try and look onto Kami. They want to fight. They're going to move in for it. Zion pumps his ultimate out there from Afro as well. He pumps down the Glacial Fissure. Shockwave's not bad, but Kami will die. Zion low. Mylon scoops him out of the way. But a double kill there for Olaf as CLG are going to run forward. They know they can finish things off. Aggressive flashes. Double F goes legendary Hero Worlds. And that's going to be game. CLG will knock it down. They will have a much improved second game.
Perfect timing. So yeah, there have been some good plays. That was the good play. Perfectly timed spare.
We've been tracking team fights, level 1s, but synchronized icon usage is something that we really have to track at this event, and CLG, they take the crown with that one.
Yeah, Ku had a really good one. They were the first to do it with that ace.